Welcome and welcome back to Rooted to Thrive. I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you for joining us on Rooted to Thrive, conversations that elevate our humanity podcast. I'm your host, Professor P, aka Rochelle Peterson-Ansari. Listen, y'all, today I have the Karen L. Smith out of the greater Philadelphia area, originally from New York City. And she is a musician, master percussionist, playwright, and writer. But here's the most important part. Karen's my play cousin. We don't call each other play cousins, but for those of you who don't know, who are not in the community, that's what you call the people you don't share blood with, but who you consider family. Well, Karen is literally my stepdad's god sister. However, we just met in 2024 after I learned she's the baby sister of my mom's former coworker and friend from way back in the day in Brooklyn, Miss Claudette. And then my stepdad comes to my house my mom and stepdad come to my house last year with sometime, I want to say it was in November. I forget if it was like one of the times in August or in November. And my stepdad asked if his god sister can come over while they were visiting. Of course, I say yes. Here comes Karen Smith. Find out that Karen lives close to me, like maybe a 3-minute drive. And we both find unspeakable joy in our work and our impact on this world. Karen, I am so honored to have you on this podcast
I'm
today. How
happy to
are you
be here.
doing?
And not
Yeah.
play cousin. We family.
Right.
That's
I know. I said
that's a
we only say
bond.
that
That's
because
right.
yes, we are family.
We're a
I only
family.
say that because, just to give the people the context. So I say this is my cousin, right? Like this is not my stepdad's god sister. She really felt like family instantly. And what you want family to feel like.
That's
That's a
right.
whole podcast
That's right.
episode. Okay.
Agree.
So how you doing?
Doing great. Happy Wellness Wednesday. My
Yes,
favorite day of the
yes.
week.
Yes, yes, yes. So I don't know when people are going to listen to this, but it is a Wednesday that we are recording this. And so to get started, share a little bit about your background. Who is Karen L. Smith?
I am. Thank you. I am from New York. Originally from Brooklyn, New York. Bed-Stuy, do or die. The youngest of eight, and yeah, I don't. Sometimes it's hard to talk about myself, other than somewhere along the line, the arts was definitely part of my life from early childhood to now. Yet my direction kept going all kinds of ways, but the fight was to stay on this path and realize, I love to drum because I should drum on starting on tabletops or paint cans or the sound of real steel cars and I make sounds and everything. And I love music because we had all kinds of music growing up, heard it in the house. And and I love the arts. I loved creating characters and writing stories and listening to stories and being a part of plays in school and anything I can get my hands on in that aspect. And it helped because I was also a very shy child, still shy adult in some shape or form, and most people don't believe it, but I am. And so that helped with me breaking that fourth wall, being able to talk to people and being able to talk about myself and do things outside of what was going on in my room, and you know, just being. I just felt the arts was that voice. It allow you to tap into whatever it is that you favor, whether it's music, dance, telling stories, being an actor or director, hanging lights or scene, whatever it is. I feel like it taps into that self expression that maybe is wounded or broken or um, couldn't shake the cycle of the dysfunction in your family tree. I feel like that the
Mm,
arts do that. To this day, I stand by that. I teach that. I preach that. I walk that. I'm a testimony of that because I also was a person that battled with depression. To this day, and so all that helps. Being able to keep me green, keep me honest about what's going on inside. So I
mm.
love what I do. I
I
love
love that. I love that. You said that self-expression, it helps you self-express and break through
it. It
things,
does. It definitely does that.
things that have you locked up, things that, right, have you living a life that you don't desire or deserve. Boy, I know I'm talking to somebody out there already today. Listen, y'all, I already asked Karen to keep her drum nearby
See,
and literally asked her to, well, I didn't even know she was going to break out at that moment and play before we started, right? And something is stirring in the atmosphere
hmm
right now. So hold on.
hold on.
I don't know what it is, but it's coming. I
Yeah.
feel that. Oh my goodness. Well, Karen, can you tell me what came to mind for you when you heard the title of this podcast, Rooted to Thrive Conversations that Elevate Our Humanity?
Well, I think one, all those things need to be recognized. I think one thing we're driven with, if we don't have the money, we can't do a lot of things. And I think you just have to have and understand the importance of self determination. I think that's the whole rooted part. I think that our our history as Africans is really all about that, and moving forward through all kinds of obstacles and not seeing, I guess, what the other side really could look like because there was not really a whole lot to even visualize that we could be more than what we were brought here for. I feel I feel it's so important to understand your roots, and that doesn't necessarily mean that if you feel that they were broken or your surroundings is broken that you cannot thrive, you cannot survive, you cannot achieve. So I think it's all about, as you like, our connection is like building that family, about building that support to support your views as well, because there are others that definitely think like you. No matter what, it's at least one more. There's one more other person that you'll be able to connect to, and then it'll be a domino effect to pull you out of whatever it is that you're going through.
Yeah.
I strongly believe in self determination. You don't
Yes.
technically have the right to fall down.
Mm.
Fall down to stay down. Let's put it like that. You have the right to fall down, but not to stay
Oh, you don't have the right. Say, okay, so say more about that.
down.
We don't have
Okay.
the right to stay down.
You don't have the right to stay down. You have the right to fall down because things get heavy. You can drop something or you can drop yourself. But you don't have the right to stay down because change is inevitable. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to change. Whether it feels
Yeah.
like it's going to change or not, it does.
Right. In a moment.
Yeah, we don't stay a baby forever.
Mm-hmm.
Stay an embryo forever.
Yeah. So can you share even an experience with us? Because, we try to keep it real here. We want to give people practical advice, but to not just kind of tell them, right? Because there's a lot of information out there about telling. And you're a storyteller, so I'm sure you have thought, right, about these experiences that you have that speak to that. Like, how did you show up as a person who understands you don't have the right to stay down? Can you help us understand any one, through one experience, or it might be a series of experiences?
I think it's a series of experiences, yes,
Okay.
and you're going to see them throughout the journey that you have, however long it is.
Hmm.
One of the things that seemed to rock our family, even I'll start with that, is my dad left when I was 13, and he was the rock, he was the breadwinner, he did everything, And my mother was, the homekeeper. She was the housewife, if you want to call it, the children raiser. And he went out and worked. He worked. He was the John Henry of the family. He instilled work about work and keeping roof over your head and money in his pocket and sharing that sharing all what is needed for his children to grow and go forward, but not what about the love that we need person too. So we got that honestly as far as from him to definitely had to work, keep going forward, etc. Be responsible that way. But that other piece was definitely just as important. So I feel that that changed our family dynamics too, and it was about everybody. Anybody was home plus stepped in. Had to step in. Got to I lost my childhood or my teenage years because I had to focus on besides school. I had to work to help bring income in because that changed our lives. Like Santa Claus was really gone. Like there was no Santa Claus anymore in that way. And it didn't
Children and a
just, yeah,
woman.
exactly. Luckily, we weren't babies and that happened, but it's still unlucky that it happened because he was only 57. It wasn't like he was 97, he was 57. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just about a lot of shifts and understanding shifts and something dynamic like that. Even you think you're not going to get over it, and I'm 65 now, and it's not so much get over it; it's learn from it. It's not so much it's got to disappear. That would mean I have Alzheimer's, dementia. I want to learn from it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not right to put. To me, it wasn't right to put all of it on one person. All that responsibility it's got to be a balance. So it's important to have balance. It's important to take care of yourself, which he did not. So I'm like a big advocate for taking care of yourself and eating healthy and exercise and taking vacations and taking downtime. And vacations doesn't mean you have to go somewhere, but you have to take take yourself out of the situation you're in because stress can take you out faster than anything. It don't need any help, or it'll make things grow in you that are negative stuff. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Karen, so what I noticed is that you said that your dad left the family,
yes.
and you often describe it that way. Are you able to share what happened? I mean, just in a sentence,
Oh yeah,
because I think we can read left
yeah.
different ways.
Definitely, it's true. Well, he left because I think of leaving as really leaving. So transition. He died on his way to an event. He had a
Mhm,
massive heart attack and he never came back. So
mhm.
I think that's very important. Yes, there are people that do leave and they're still here, but I always think of leaving as that's the final. Because when you're still here, there's a possibility that I can see you again. As long as you're on the face
Understood.
of this earth, there's a possibility that we'll see each other again.
Hmm.
But leaving, to me, is
Right.
stronger than it's not here right now.
That's right. Okay. Thank you. So I'm hearing like the underlying message is about believing in yourself, about like that's what's underneath self-determination, right? Like yeah, you talked about the African American community in particular too, and how self-determination is a characteristic that is strong in
Yeah.
that community. Yeah. I'm wondering about
Uji Jakalia, that's the second principle of Kwanzaa.
of Kwanzaa. Yes,
Turn,
Kujijakalia.
yeah, unity is first.
Listen, and I think that order was intentional.
It is intentional.
Yes, it is intentional. The order of the seven principles of Kwanzaa and unity, emoja. Yes, emoja. And Kujijakalia being second. So unity first, self-determination second. Yeah, those are some critical principles as we think about ourselves in community with others and elevating our humanity. So I was curious if you were at one of your Karen Smith experiences, which y'all, I've seen it, educational, entertaining, just you get immersed in experiences with Karen Smith. If you were at one of those experiences and you wanted the you wanted the people in that room to know what they were made out of, what like what you're made out of, that they are made out of, and the power of that unity, the power of that self-determination, what would you share with them?
Oh wow, that power. I think sometimes it's and when I share with my drum, I think the goal is to hear what happens for you as opposed to me telling you. I feel like
Mm,
I've already told you what the ancestors are saying by just playing that drum. So the feedback is is now the time. I'll only say how you feeling, like almost like you said to me. You
mm,
but that's I feel like it's your personal
mm.
expression is what happens to you personally. That's
Oh,
what I usually.
yes.
That's what I use. That's what I feel is a Karen Smith experience. I bring in some very ancestral uh, interactions that happen just from the rhythms and whatever
Mm,
that is. You know, even somebody said to me last night after the show, and I was kind of surprised because it seemed like a young person. They said, "I've never seen a woman drummer before." I was like, "Really?
mm,
Never?" It's
mm.
25. It's like, okay, you know, um, but she was so moved by it all. You know, it's just like I don't know if she meant she's never seen a woman drummer before do that.
Mm.
What she got from the performance, or she really meant she's never seen a woman drummer before. But I think
Wow.
more so what she was really saying the experience that she's had. I don't think she. I think the person was really saying I've never experienced anything like that before in my life.
Right,
Period. And it just
right.
happened to be a female, you know, expressing.
Mm, hmm.
I think though sometimes you got to go with what you identify with. I've never seen a female drummer before. That's
Yeah.
what probably on their mind is that's what they said. But I feel like really was saying I've never experienced what I experienced in there before.
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
the black and white version of it is I've never seen a female drummer
Right, right.
before.
When you don't have the words, those are the
You
words,
don't have the
right?
words. It's like, you know, I'll tell you I love you, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to express something totally different. But the easiest part that comes out are the ones that I'm used to, or traditionally I'm saying I love you. It's like, but it's
Yes.
something else because it's so much higher than that. There's no words. In fact, there's just no words. It's just it gets like that. So you say what you're used to hearing or experiencing, whatever. The
Yes.
simpler version that comes out,
Yes.
universal version almost. But
You
the rooms
know,
are very spiritual. If they're in the room, it becomes a
mhm,
whole another conversation that
mhm,
you might not be ready for, or you cannot express it enough. You know?
mhm. See, you just
Another lady said, "You just took me somewhere." That's all she could say. She just kept shaking her head. You just those drums took me somewhere.
I know about that feeling. The drum takes you somewhere,
It does.
and it's your connection to it. What you are talking about just brought up a couple of questions. I'll just go with one of them because you're talking about there's a spiritual centeredness that I believe you bring to your work to have the impact that you want in the world. And so I wanted to know, is that true? And yeah, how do you connect so that you can be a connection?
I would say yes. That's all true. I feel that there's so much imbalance in the world, and I seen from my own experience from the different things that I've done as well as observed that if there's a drum around, it's such a it becomes a universal language. Like everybody can play or dance or move. It's just freeing, even if you're in a wheelchair. I've done circles like that with folks that can't even talk to me, but they can express themselves through something that happens with the drum. I've created and been involved in so many different things with almost just about I think every population, including animals, and the the mutual part is they all feel something. You feel something, and something
Mhm,
happens, and you reconnect to a healthier forward, a healthier journey. I'm not
mhm,
focused on what I'm dealing with it right now. Allowing it, the lifting. I feel for myself, it lifts me. Sometimes so much I can't come back right away. I don't feel
mm.
once that first rhythm hits, I go somewhere, and I personally work on coming back to where I am right now.
Wow.
Sometimes it's a little bit challenging. Sometimes it's a smoother transition.
Mm-hmm. And so do you use the drum to get centered every day, or are there other practical ways one gets centered that you can share publicly? I don't know. I'm like, some people might do stuff they don't want to tell people. But
Oh, I try to touch my drums every day. I don't necessarily play them every day, but I touch them and say
Mhm,
good morning, or you know, made it to another day. Let's be creative. Because I'm surrounded by drums in my space or some kind of
mhm,
instruments, and I also sleep next to me is my journal. So I write in my journal to check in.
mhm,
That's my big check in because I can't lie to my journal.
mhm,
And I promised myself I would never lie to my journal. I will never flip the script just to make me feel better. It's like just be honest so we can get through
mhm, mhm.
the next thing. Because once I
Yeah,
release it, it's already changing. If I hold on to it, it's not going to change. It's going to stay
yeah.
right there. So my journal is right nearby.
Yeah, I'm thinking about some people I know right now. You just really made them pop in my head because there are some people, you were just talking about a young person um, that needs to hear from their elders, us, okay, right? About what has helped us stay centered and get the ease and flow for the most part that we want in our daily lives, right? In our life, for us to attract the kinds of people around us that build us up and not tear us down. And some people do have, especially now in the 2020s,
Mm-hmm.
right? That we have so much that can pull our attention and pull it downward, pull it negatively, pull it outside of ourselves and into what can we scroll on? Yeah. And so they need to hear from you today about how that really, like your commitment to that.
I'm committed. Yeah. I'm committed to staying alive because there hasn't been times in my life I didn't want to stay alive. I didn't think I would
Mm,
make it past 30 or somewhere
mm,
between 25 and 30. It was
mm,
tough as mentally, let alone what
mm,
else was going on, but mentally, I just thought
mhm,
uh, that's with therapy. By the time I turned 25, therapy had to come in because my life would not be here today if I didn't
mm,
start that process and believed in it. Because you can start therapy, plenty of people start therapy and still take their lives. That's not unusual. But I wanted to be ready for it because
mm,
all the things that I was holding on to or feeling, letting it consume me or
mhm,
the clutter that was up here um, was uh, taking over my body like a bad uh, sore,
mm,
destroying me on the outside and inside. So that 25 to 30,
Mm,
um, that therapy that needed to come in started coming in, and I was slowly getting ready for it. It wasn't like it, it wasn't a big leap forward, but it started helping me to recognize, because you don't want to hear a lot of things too. It's like, oh, I don't want to even admit to that. Oh, I've been hiding from that. Oh, I tucked that somewhere. I thought I couldn't. Oh, that can't
mhm,
be bothering me because that was then. This is now. Yes,
mhm,
it is. It's holding you back. And what's ahead? You want to see it, and you want to be ready for it. You want to be, in a better state
mm.
of mind than you are now, because it'll dissolve quick if you don't. So
Yeah.
I spent from 25 to uh, 32, I'm gonna say, in some heavy therapy, like really um, helping me
Mm,
find myself. And it was really the therapy that I did in a shorter time than it was during that stretch of time. That
okay.
that person, she really got me on the right path. Out of anybody that I saw over these years, she
Yeah.
really opened the door, so it made it a lot easier for the next therapist to come in and pick up and run with it. Because
Nice.
that first 5 years was tough on that therapist, because I was just it was so dark. No matter what,
Mm,
I lied, I cheated, I on myself, I cheated. I was not honest, and I was not taking it as seriously as I should. And then I had moments where I was, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for it today. And it's like, I was doing things that was supposed to be recreational, was not. It was turning into something else.
mm,
It was it was definitely destroying me completely. My
mm.
most um, spiritual centering wasn't there at all, because I came from a religious background, and that wasn't helping me. I'm not saying it doesn't help people, but it wasn't helping.
Other people.
Yeah,
Right.
was not helping me, because it made me even more confused. You know,
Hmm.
so um, I was dabbling in a lot of different things to help me find what is the spiritual part of me,
Mm.
because it feels religion is just not. It's not. That's not happening for me.
For you, yeah.
Not that
And
way.
right, right, right. And yeah, we have the similar stories, right, around that,
Yep.
right? Like just what wasn't working for us. And I'm sure somebody else out there is thinking, is saying is nodding their head. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we understand, right? And finding your spiritual connectedness, your spiritual center is a very personal thing. Yeah, I'm a witness to that as well. And actually, I had to quiet the noise of other voices
Yeah.
to really truly get spiritually connected. Although I miss some of the fellowship of being a part of a church community, right? But I literally just for me had to develop a rhythm, a daily devotion that did not include anyone else's voice, no sermon, no nothing between me and for me the word of God, right? So that was my choice. And what I hear you saying is that to reach your spiritual center, you reached out and got help when it was really dark
Very dark.
from a professional.
A professional, yes. Yeah.
Yes. And as much as I love being a coach, we are not therapists. When it's really dark,
It
you
was
need a
dark.
licensed
Yep.
person. Somebody went to school for that.
Yep.
Okay.
And I did.
Um, yeah. And I know even the struggle of finding someone that's right for you. And that's what I heard you say that, I had along that stretch, I had the right person for
Yep. Eventually, I had a starter
me.
person that I definitely needed, but the next person that came in really like
Mhm.
knocked down the walls for real. I
Yes.
mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't put that back up if I wanted to. And as I was trying to put it back up, the nails would fall, whatever. The
Hmm.
ceiling would come back down.
Hmm.
She was like,
And in
no,
part that had,
no nonsense.
yeah, and that's what you needed. See,
Yeah.
every therapist is not no
Oh,
nonsense.
well,
Yeah, listen, I remember I have a like real quick story of a therapist I went to at a time right after I had had a miscarriage. And I know I need no nonsense. Well, I didn't know it really at the time until I really had it, right? And a friend of mine told me, oh, what has worked for me was to get a Black woman therapist. I'm a Black woman, you're a Black woman. That worked for her. I
yeah.
go in because I am like really distraught, not thinking clearly at the time. Go in to the place that my primary doctor recommends, and because I didn't have any other referrals, and still in the period of my life and shame about that. Like, in the Black community, there's a lot of shame around going to, or stigma around going to get therapy, right? So, and well, it was in all of American culture and many more cultures on other continents, I'm sure. However, and I'm really glad that we have broken through that at the time of this recording, but in the majority of my life, we had not. And so at that time, I'm just like, oh, you know, I I'm just listening. The doctor said go there. My friend, go to this place. I'm going to that place. My friend said go get a Black therapist. I'm like, can I find? Do y'all have a Black woman therapist? And the Black woman therapist was not available, booked up, right? So they said, well, you can see so and so, who was probably like, she was a leader in the practice, right? She sees me. No nonsense. It's like, listen, because I was struggling with, oh, I have to go back to work, and like, I'm not pregnant anymore, so there should be no reason why I can't go back to work, but I can't kind of lift my head up every day. And she just was no nonsense with me, and this was one episode, y'all. This was one session. Sends me home. You're going to make this list of things that have to be done. Oh, I was on a new job. That was the other complication. Like new.
Okay.
Like I had started in July. It was September. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So first of all, I was already dealing with the fact that I was pregnant, because I didn't know I was pregnant before I got the job. It was a whole mess. So um the woman said to, do X, Y, and Z to kind of get all these things I was carrying off my head. And then I was going to take care of me. Do you know, before our second session, she was in a car accident and literally broke her neck? And listen, I don't know how the universe works. Like, I don't know the magic of it, right? But, and of course, you never want something like that to happen to someone. But this happens to the woman. So they have to reassign me, and I wound up with this other woman, the Black woman, because then they created space, right? Because they had to move around this woman's other patients,
Fine.
right? So I wind up with someone who took me to another level, and it wasn't just because she was a Black woman, actually, in my opinion. But again, it was another no nonsense person.
Yeah.
And at the time, I needed to know that A plus people, right? We were the A plus people. I was one of the A plus people, right? Nothing but A plus was, an option for me.
Okay.
I had to release that layer, and it took some time. It was a struggle with her, but I needed someone to pour into me, to be no nonsense. Like, hey, is this working for you? No? All right, let's do something different.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it came from. It didn't matter what you went through before. We need to get something different. And so
Right.
you just reminded me of that moment.
Okay.
But I want to tap in a little further, right? Because you also said then beyond therapy, we're fast forwarding to today, you have regular practices that are worth it. so that you can live, period, and live the way you want to live and show up like you do to have the impact that you're having on this world.
Mm.
So I'm accurate in that. I'm
You're very
accurate that,
accurate now.
yes.
I think, I mean,
So,
every day I see a new day is two people I think all the time. Like, you think would be my parents. And yes, that's a given. But Marianne, Brian, and Pat Stewart, because they were just those therapists with that special gift. They weren't just a therapist. They had a
mm,
special gift, and they, like the drum, keep you green. Bring they bring out what's needed, and free you from it, as opposed to you taking it with you after you leave. It's like, oh, I talked about that. Oh, I'm free, and like, well, maybe and maybe not, but you still need to continually talk about that.
mm-hmm,
You need to journal that, not be afraid of it. You need to see it,
mm-hmm.
and
I love that.
realize, time will give you a few moments, or it could turn into years before it comes back again. It's like that lesson. Boom. What did you? He's like, what did you say you learned? You did like, learning. Oh, so I'm still learning. Yeah, I'm still not ED.
Yes.
Yeah, take off the EDs, please. You're learning, because it's gonna come back as long as you're on this journey.
That's right. That's right.
That's what time does. It's like, now you say, yeah, that's not, which gave me 33 years of sobriety, not thinking
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, wow, I'm done with that, because, I made a decision. Like, yeah, you made a decision, but you got to prove it, you know, with each day. It's only about today. It's like, which end up giving you 33 years plus. That's
Yes.
why I tell people, don't rely on your clean time to keep you clean.
Mm,
Do not do that, because that's a false advertisement. It's like, wow, I got clean time, so I'm not worried about it. I could do, whatever now. It's like, well,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay
It only,
clean. I'm like, well, it's not just words.
it's true. It's
There is
true.
work behind it. 'Cause your
It,
triggers are the closest things to you, and the closest thing to you is you.
yes. And we can think about that around, drugs, alcohol, smoking, like things that we can like physically stop. But then sometimes that addiction could be something else that harms you, but just mentally, right? Those are the ones it seems very hard for us to let go of. And what I hear you giving us some practical strategies for how to maintain, right? So I heard how to maintain it. One is taking it day by day, literally one day at a time,
Moment by
believing,
moment.
yes, believing in yourself, getting it out, however you get it out, like of your head, like especially if the demons are the it's not a drug, but it's a thoughts about yourself, to write it or speak it into something, to journal it, right? Like to get it out of you. I love when you said, I can't, you promised yourself not to lie to your
Oh,
journal
oh,
or lie to yourself.
that's right. I'm just lying to myself. Yeah, I promise.
Yes. And then you have a connection to, I don't know what I want to call this. I keep thinking about that drum. Like there's a connection to what you were created to be, in my mind.
Right.
Is there anything else, any other practical strategies you would recommend to people to believe, to maintain that self-determination?
Yeah, it's the people I associate with, because I definitely do not. I have minus zero tolerance to anyone who's not being responsible for their own actions. I just
Wait, say that again for the people in the back.
I have minus zero tolerance for
Mine is zero.
minus zero for anyone who's not, you know, taking responsibility for their own actions. I just don't
Mm,
have any tolerance for it. So that means, I can know you from afar, but can you cannot be a part of my circle.
mhm.
I have a strong standard in that way. You will not be a part of my circle. Let's put it like that. Because
Yes,
not only I'm not going to let you tear me down, I'm not going to tear you down for tearing me down. So
mhm.
that's not going to be the battle. We haven't had any
Yes,
unnecessary battles. It's already battles living life on life's terms. That's the biggest battle you could possibly have once you get
that's
in
right.
life, whatever that may be. But I'm not going to associate with folks who are whoever they
Mhm,
are, you know,
mhm.
whether it's whether it's
Yeah,
rest or play, it's just not going to happen.
right. And that is so important. And I keep thinking about us as, when we have people who withdraw and don't deposit in our lives, as family too, because it's easy to see it with acquaintances, people you're just meeting, people at work. It's easy to do that. It feels easier, maybe to me, to do that with people outside of my family,
Right.
right? And I mean, just knowing something about you, I know that doesn't mean shut off your family. But when you say your close circle, right, what does that look like in terms of maybe family members who don't take responsibility for themselves?
Well, that's your
Like,
blueprint right there. Is your biological family is your blueprint. You can't
okay.
because you can't um, you 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 come here with somebody. You come here connected to somebody's or somebody's, and they were, that family tree. But you can create your own. You can replant. You can plant your own. But you need that blueprint and say, "Oh, I don't want that. I don't want that. I definitely
Mm,
don't want that. Or I do need that. That part I do
mm,
need." So you can personally put that in your life, and that could be your real family support system or your support system. Period, but not
mhm.
necessarily the biological will be part of your support system. But
Right.
you need that blueprint. You cannot erase. Don't say, "Oh," because I personally tried to erase that blueprint. I'm like, I don't want to be associated with my biological family in any kind of way, and that did not work. That actually ended up putting me in the hospital.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it did. So that didn't work. I'm like, okay, acceptance is a beautiful thing. Surrender is a beautiful thing. But it doesn't mean that you need them in your life in that way. That
Hmm.
whatever that they bring, if it's not working for you, you don't have to
Hmm.
have it just because, oh, that's my aunt, oh, that's my cousin, oh, that's my sister, that's my brother. Yes, it is. Biologically it is, and you need to recognize that. But it doesn't work. That connection.
Hmm.
So you don't have to stay there with that. But you can create what you need. It's like, well, I still need, people around me who are, like-minded, et
Hmm.
cetera, et cetera. So bring them in. That is your family. That becomes your family. That becomes your biggest support. But to know your family tree and what's connected in order to not bring in the same energies that doesn't work from the beginning.
Right. Right.
Once you met that energy, it's like that doesn't work, but I can't do anything about it because I have to live here right now, you know,
Right.
because I'm a kid, I'm young, whatever. But when I get to be an adult, I'm gonna make some changes if it still does not work. And that's what I
Yeah.
did at 19. I made that decision. This does not work. This thought pattern does not work for me.
Hmm.
But I have to find what does work. But I still need that. I can't completely disconnect to it, though I tried. But I still need it because I have to figure it out. I'm figuring
Yeah.
it out. And now I know
Yeah.
better, oh, it really works for me. That's where
Yeah.
the zero minus zero tolerance come from. I can see it right away. I'm like, I'm not going to wait for another 40 days and no, I'm sitting here. Okay, don't make excuses for it because you will.
Right.
We'll make
Right.
excuses for it. What? So
Yeah.
yes. So that's
But
all. That's
But I also hear you that saying that you also still stay connected, even though, right, like to family or to that energy, right? The
yeah, because
biological,
overall I care about people.
right?
I might not entertain you in a way,
Okay.
I might not
Mm-hmm.
spend time with you, but it doesn't
Right.
mean I won't possibly call unless you've done that much damage. Then it's like that's different.
Gotcha.
But if it's manageable damage, if you want to
You
call
gotcha.
it, but
Yeah,
like completely broken,
that's right.
I will, I don't.
That's right.
But that doesn't mean that we have to sit across the table. It doesn't mean I'm wishing you anything bad either. I'm not. I'm not spending my
Right.
day like, oh, just because I'm not in contact with that person, that I wish them bad and they hurt me. I'm gonna hope somebody hurts them. I don't have to because
Mm-mm.
karma does whatever it needs to do for whatever. I don't have to call the script. Karma does
Right.
that. I don't have to wish anybody bad. Even my worst enemy, if you want to call it that. That's my
Mm-hmm.
learning experience. That's not my worst enemy. That's my learning experience. I
I
need
love that.
I need that to see what I need. I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I need it, you know. I might not
That
want that, but I still need it to understand what I personally need to continue my spiritual growth. But
I
not to wish.
love that.
My whole approach is not to wish anything bad because something bad happened to that. I
Right.
don't wish anything bad. I hope that you know everyone grows from their experiences, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Surrender and acceptance is a beautiful thing, and it's a day to day thing. It doesn't mean like, oh, I got this now. I got surrender. I'm accepting. I'm all good. And they're like, no,
It's
you will be tested on that by Friday. That's how it is.
by Friday,
That's
right? I
right.
love that.
Monday you get the lesson. Tuesday you get to spend some time with it. Wednesday, Thursday you get the review. Friday's the actual test. How you doing? What did you score this time? 100, 80, 70? Did you get a D? Did you get a B?
Yes.
Whatever. It'll
Yes.
before the weekend gets here.
I I thank you so much for really bringing a very practical and personal example of how we can grow as humans, have
And
more
get a drum.
human, yes,
And get a
have more
drum.
human dignity for ourselves and maintain that for other people with boundaries, with boundaries. And yes, please help us transition out of this episode. I don't even want it to end with that extension of you.
Everybody should have a drum in their life.
Yes. Y'all, she calls this a baby
It's
drum.
a baby
It's
drum. This is the
it's a
baby.
big to
Baby.
me that's a teenage drum.
This is the
I
baby. It's still young.
have a real I have a real baby drum. I mean, like it's very short. But Karen, I want to thank you so much for just being you.
Thank you.
That's what's important. You always gonna show up as I know you to be. And I love that even though you are very popular, that the Rooted to Thrive community gets to hear your voice in another way. They hear your voice and the ancestors through your drums, through your percussion, through your writing, through your plays all the time. So before we leave though, those who are not as familiar, can you share with them how they can be in touch, how they can find you?
Yay! www.karensmithdrums with an S.com is my website. It has all my information on there. I even have some YouTube because I have a YouTube channel, so you can definitely check and see what I do. If you don't believe me, you can Michelle. You can see all the stuff that happens and all the categories that I do. And Karen Smith Drums on IG, Karen Smith on Facebook. But those are the
Yes.
most popular ones that you can definitely find me, or just Google Karen Smith drums, and you'll find out some more information. So it's been a
Yes,
pleasure.
you
Thank you so
will.
much. Yeah.
Thank you. And again, this has been a blessing. And I know this is only one of many conversations to come with you.
Thank you.
Folks, go find Karen Smith at karensmithdrums.com, Karen Smith Drums on IG, on Facebook. And thank you all for stopping by. Thank you. Yes, and please leave a comment, share this episode, and subscribe, not or subscribe. Subscribe, hit the button, hit the button. And thank you again for listening to Rooted to Thrive.